I'm very glad to see you again. I hope you had a very nice and happy week. And today, as I promised, I'm back with a new element of how we deal with the quarantine, the lockdown, and how is it possible for us to um, be creative and be focused on our goals and do our goal setting and our goal making during difficult situations such as a lockdown or other possible difficult situations. So I would like first to give you some first advices that we really need to do in order to protect ourselves and be more focused and more well adapted during these difficult periods of time. As you know, many of you, there are many countries, especially here in Europe, in Greece, that right now we are again in a second lockdown. Some and have never stopped being in a lockdown. So this is very challenging during this time for a lot of people, especially people that they are really willing to create their business and see their business growing. And we need to see how is it possible to protect all this structure, our entrepreneurial structure, from these challenging moments. So, the first thing is right now, probably many of you are inside the house, you're inbound, and you're staying in there like I'm doing this moment. So, sometimes, during the difficult situations, you need to keep in mind that depending on the industry where you're working in, some things may go faster during a difficult time, some things may go slower. What I mean by that, it means that sometimes there are, like in this moment, people that they work with social media through internet or with IT or hardware and software industries. Actually, they're doing very good right now. Whereas other people in other industries, such as events, planning events like social events, weddings, or other social events, they don't have the same growth. So all the times, difficult times especially, they encourage some industries, whereas they do not encourage some others. We keep that in mind, but at the same time, we are conscious that this is not going to defeat us as a knowledge, that sometimes maybe we belong to an industry that needs to go slower. We respect this slow pace, but at the same time, we prepare the infrastructure we need and all the building blocks necessary. So when the opportunity rises again and comes in front of us, we are already set, we are already done, prepared in order to proceed to the next step and take this opportunity and watch our industry and a business growing, which is very important. Another thing is that during these difficult strain moments, you really need to remind yourself, don't be over demanding from your own self first and then from other people with whom you're working. And it's really necessary not to forget that uh, you really need to follow a little bit the flow. If the flow is a little bit slow, go with the flow. That's slow, okay? So don't be very demanding. Don't be very impatient, because sometimes impatience and over demanding mood actually is counterproductive, and what it gives is finally discouragement and demotivation, and finally we're not able to pursue our goals. On the contrary, we tend to quit, and you don't want to do that. Another thing is that you have to accept that the things may go slower with all this situation. Be an observer, see the society, see how things are working, talk with other people, ask the advice, learn from the media what's going on, and get this feeling about the society. Are we having Is there anything that goes slower and that affects your industry? Accept that too. And it's uh, it's really necessary to avoid blaming yourself and just be observant of the circumstances. I'm not saying you're going to use them as an excuse for not doing anything or for saying that you're not going to be productive or you're not going to dare to go ahead. What I'm saying is just be a little bit observant, because sometimes we have this tendency either to over accusing ourselves or to over accusing the others. And we really need to see where we are right now during this situation. It's really, really important during these difficult times to be focused on the present moment. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm talking to you. I'm focused here. I'm not thinking a million other things that I have to do once I finish this video with you, this live with you. I'm focused here. Once I finish this video, actually, later I will go and see what's the next task to do in my list. So I will do that and will be focused on that. And if you take one thing at a time and you're focused there, you give all your attention, all your energy there, so you are a good performer if you do that. Otherwise, actually, you disperse your attention and you are unable to perform in the level you really can do and you really want to. So, present moment is necessary. Another thing is that you do take care of your daily routine. We said that last week. I explained thoroughly what we mean with your daily routine. You can check this video if you want. If you want it, ask me and I will send you the link. Another thing very important is that you really need to celebrate your baby steps, the things you do, the achievements, the small achievements, all the small progress, all the small work you're doing on a daily basis, especially now. Many of my clients, when we were discussing, they actually told me that they were forgetting and they were neglecting to focus and to spot exactly the baby steps, and they think that they need to be happy only when they have great accomplishments. But you do not have great accomplishments unless you start building them little by little. So you really need to start celebrating those baby steps and the accomplishments you are making. They are crucial to do the assessment of your goal and how you're using your planning if everything goes well. It's really important for your motivation and your encouragement to understand that today you did what you had as a task to do, and this is a great win, and this is a very nice opportunity for you to celebrate. And don't forget to do that on a daily basis. So another important thing is that you can write down on a small calendar. I will show you my favorite notebook here, and you can do it on your computer or your tablet, but I really like it, the paper and pencil idea. It really helps and really is recorded on the brain. You can write down all the progress and all the small achievements you do every day, even the smallest ones. And I managed to send this email that I was neglecting for so long, or I managed to decide actually which color is the logo I want for my enterprise, for my business, or I decided which one of the new employees I want to hire, I actually am going to hire. Just write it down. It's a progress. You made it. You have to note it down. Okay? And a last thing from the general rule is it's really important to say affirmations, use positive words, positive thinking constantly all day long. You can write them down on a post-it and you can put them all around you so that you can see them. I am able, I am worthy, I will do this, I am creative, I am productive, I love my goals, I love what I do, I'm happy with my work, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I have a brilliant team workers. I am able to do all the goals I decided to do. Write down everything that is an affirmation for you, or what you think is a very positive word, is a positive idea for you to help you keep going during the day. when we have affirmations all around us, actually we protect our mind to go back to the negativity. And negativity is actually a great source of non being productive. It's a great source of being more able to quit. So you really don't want that. You want to be focused and happy and tuned in your success despite all these negative things that are going on around you. And the last tip from the general framework is that don't listen to the news, the ones that they have on the television set, and they're saying all those negative ideas. They are paid to do that. They are paid to make people being frightened. So avoid that, keep the affirmations going on, and you will be ready and motivated to work. Okay, now let's go to the specific planning. Let's say that you have a goal, you really want to create a goal. Either we will take an example, and first thing, yet you know that we have this difficult period of time. The goal setting doesn't change much. What changes is the balance and the emotional investment we have during the specific time frame. And actually, I gave you the first rules that I've just mentioned in this first part of the video, where all you will use and you will need in order to keep the balance, the sensible and subtle balance of your goal making during the lockdown or another difficult moment. The rest of the whole work is exactly as if preparing a plain, a usual uh, goal plan. So the first thing you need to do is clarify your goal. What exactly you want to do? What is it? What drives you? What motivates you to go forward and to do that? And you write it down. Okay, let's choose one here. If you find it difficult to see your goal, just close your eyes and envision yourself in doing it, and s- start reproducing through your imagery as many details as possible to this image that are necessary for this image. For example, I've chosen an example for you today. I want to set my own jewelry shop. This is the vision I will give you as an example. So I see myself having my jewelry e-shop. I can see the area, I can see the space, I can see the design of my web internet, I can see what kind of jewelry I'm going to have, I can see what I'm going to do with my media, my social media, and how to move forward with that. So I have the clearest possible vision. I know why I'm doing it, because I like jewelry and I like to bring joy to women, and I like them to have beautiful aesthetic objects that actually help them show an even more beautiful part of themselves. So I clarify my goal. I say I want to have this open this new jewelry shop, and then of course, I determine generally the estimation, the time estimation for this goal making. When exactly am I counting to do that? It's just a theory, it's just an image, because if you don't plan it, if you don't give time for your goal, then it's not a goal. It's a mere dream. So actually, yes, in this example, I say I will have my jewelry e-shop ready in 6 months. You can say 1 year. Just choose the proper time, the proper amount of time you need, so as not to press yourself too much and feel actually that the goal is not feasible, and then then there is the demotivation part again that makes you feel demotivated and you want to quit. But at the same time, don't provide to yourself too much of the time, because then you become the goal becomes too loose, and you also become demotivated to do it because you think you know you have enough time to do it. So it's not necessary for you to have a correct normal pacing during your goal setting. So choose wisely the time you want, not too long, not too short, in order for you to be able to set your planning and to be able actually to implement it. And then once you've decided that, you have to create an overall plan of the steps you need to do during this period, especially this period of the lockdown. For example, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find what type of jewelry I'm going to use. Will it be jewels that I'm making on my own? I'm taking them from someone else, so I have to find who is my sources, if it is me or if it is somebody else, where I'm taking from the first materials. I need to have a web designer for my e-shop. I need to have an accountant officer. I need to have probably a lawyer. In many countries we need also a lawyer to do all the necessary steps forward. uh, I need to start having a social media source, and I need at the same time to have a manager of my social media. I need to have an opt-in in order to start having addresses of people that they want to be contacted by me through a mailing list in order to notify them for any new um, jewelry product I'm putting on my webpage. I want to have collaboration with other sites, etc., etc., etc. So I write down all the necessary steps I think they're important for the creation of my goal. You write them down. You can say always you can use the computer, but at the same time I really prefer in the first step you write them down paper and pencil. It's really important because it makes you feel more conscious and more focused on what you write. So once you've done that, then you actually need to prioritize all the aforementioned uh, steps, because they're not going to, if you put them in different order, they're not going to be productive and helpful. The first thing you need is not, for example, to hire a social media manager. This is not the first step. So you really need to prioritize with a careful manner which thing comes first. So it's really important to put the hierarchy, and hierarchy is a very fine work to do. If you have a difficulty, you can ask your coach, you can ask a consultant or an advisor, and you can ask also a group, a forum where like this one that you can refer to. So start prioritizing which steps are the most important. For example, in this specific goal that I have, the e-shop, the jewelry e-shop, the first thing I need to do is to discuss with my lawyer and my accountant officer this in the reality of Greek standards. Maybe in other countries the standards are different, so you just be conscious where you are exactly, which country, and you really not need to know the steps. Here in Greece, I know very well how we start the businesses. The first important thing is to have your accountant officer and your lawyer, and you have to ask them which are the legal procedures in order to open your own company. You follow those, you set what these steps, and then you know that the second thing you do is, once you have all your company officially ready, that the second step is that now you can proceed to the collaborations you have, either to buy or to work with somebody or to hire someone. So the second thing is that you go and you find your sources, for example, where you're setting the jewelry, but at the same time, you think, in this example, it's really important to have a web designer to prepare you your site. So I need to find this special person, and I also need to find the people that I'm going to work with in order to provide my shop with the necessary products. These two are first my priority and in my list. So then I want to have other sub steps, like now, once my product is ready and or we are on the way to do it, I decide to hire a media manager, and with that person we work with in order to proceed. Or if I know that I'm going to give to somebody else to create my jewelry, actually I'm going to hire the personnel that's going to do that for me and is going to be productive. Depending on the strategies we are going to follow for each company, you're going to choose some of the steps, which one is the first and which one is the second. So you have to keep in mind that every time you have a specific strategy. And for example, if somebody uh, wants to have a great impact on the internet and the social media, uh, at the same they start creating the social media platform of their company at the same exactly time as they start the production of the products. And they start with previews, and they start with showing the preparation of the products, and they just prepare their audience and their mailing list in order to sell their products and be ready once at first the first line of their products is ready to just move forward to sell them. So depending on the strategy you want to follow, you're going to decide the specific hierarchy you're going to choose for your sub steps for this goal. You write them down, and then you have to create a more detailed monthly plan. Don't forget, we have here a goal to have a jewelry shop that's 6 months in 6 months from now, and this is the goal. So we have 6 months ahead of us. uh, Not very absolute. We understand that sometimes some things may come a little bit slower, especially during challenging times. So we have this general estimation that we have 6 months for the creation of our shop, but at the same time, we keep in mind that we are going to be okay if we need to have some more time to move forward, because we understand that there can be delays due to the difficult situations we are right now. So you accept that, okay? And you put it inside the plan as an active parameter. Anyway, we start with the monthly plan. Once you have made the list, the prioritization of your sub steps, then you put them on the monthly plan. So, what will happen in the first month? The first month, I will contact the lawyer and the accountant officer, okay? And I will do all the necessary steps that I want to do in order to create my company. And now they're going to be legal. On the second phase, I'm going to contact the people with whom I'm going to collaborate in order to create, produce, or buy my jewelry in order to put them as products in my site. So in the first month, I calculate that the necessary steps I do is A, the lawyer, B, the accountant office, C, the sources I have in order to contact them, and fourth, and necessary, the web designer I'm going to use in order to create my e-shop. So you write that down, and then you decide what you're going to do during the second month. The second month, I'm going to choose what type of jewelry I'm going to have, what lines I'm going to create. I will help my web designer discuss with him on the specificities of the site, what needs we have on the site, build it together. I will start contacting people in order to find a social media manager that I can work with. You write down all the necessary steps you do for the second month, the third month, the fourth month, and so on. Now that you've written down on a monthly plan, on a monthly dimension, your steps, your sub steps, you go even in a more higher detail. So you move and you say you watch actually the necessary steps you want to do during the weeks of the month. So you take the first month. We said that in the first month, what you want to do is have your lawyer is have your accountant officer. So what you do, you just put those you decide which weeks you need, which weeks you have in order in order to say what you are going to do the first week. The first week, I'm going to call my accountant officer, and then I'm going to call my lawyer. You decide what you do during each week. of the first month. And the second week, I'm going to have, for example, I'm going to finalize all the necessary administrative works I need to do in order to finish and establish legally my shop. So you start with this um, um, hierarchy. First, the general plan, you have the goal, then the idea, the necessary steps you need to do, you prioritize them, then you put them on a monthly basis, then you put them on a weekly basis. Next week, I'm going to explain you what you're going to do on your weekly plan and how you're going to plan your day ahead, one day ahead. So we're going to be in the more detailed planning of our goal setting and our goal making, and what you're going to do and how you're going to use that in order to have the best possible performance every day of your work, and be focused on here and now while you have your plan, your goal setting plan. So be well, be creative, and enjoy this week, and we'll talk again next week. Bye bye.